Can I get a show of hands of how many of us ever realized that Steven intriguingly made the conscious decision to remain faithful to the first person that he fell in love with?
I have one wife, which is enough.
Despite the fact that he was the son of the two most promiscuous characters on the entire show.
I haven't broken this many hearts since I had all my hair.
And fondness turned to love.
Or is it? No.
I mean, it's been brought up many a time that Rose Quartz and Greg Universe tragically could not keep their legs closed before Steven entered the picture.
I like the way human beings play.
What do you mean by that?
Think about it, our boy had literally every excuse imaginable to crash out and follow in his parents' footsteps by completely giving up on Connie and just deciding to find someone new after any one of their countless disagreements.
Steven! Let's fuse! Already in the air. How are we going to get back?
Why isn't it possible?
It's just not.
Why not, you stupid bastard?
Yet the writers of the show went out of their way to teach us through Steven's unwavering loyalty to Connie that not only was it possible to escape a family's generational habit of giving into lust, but it also could have been achieved by simply choosing to walk a different path. Easier said than done for most of us, sure, but Steven's inspiring decision to not give in to lust still leaves us with one unavoidable question. Was it actually worth it? Steven and Connie meet each other for the very first time during the season 1 episode titled Bubble Buddies.
I saved it in the freezer so it would last longer, in case I saw you again.
An episode that hilariously opens with Steven attempting to impress his crush with a brand new bicycle.
Smooth ride?
I can't hear you!
A bicycle that his guardians, the Crystal Gems, had no knowledge of Steven ever actually getting his hands on.
Hey, look! Steven's got a bike!
Considering the fact that Greg was still an emotional wreck after losing Rose and would only become a millionaire during season 3, we kinda just have to assume that Steven used one of Garnett's secret techniques to be able to afford it.
But wait! There's more!
I found a phone.
Whose is it?
That's not important.
You don't want to test me, girl. I'll pass every time.
After Steven embarrasses himself on the beach, followed by a fairly entertaining series of gem hijinks, our boy would actually take the opportunity while he was trapped in a bubble at the bottom of the ocean to reveal the truth to his new friend.
You were the kid on the car wash float.
Connie is formally introduced to the rest of the Crystal Gems during the season 1 episode titled Lion 2 the Movie.
Stop showing off, Amethyst. Connie promises this movie's even better than any magic.
I did not say that.
Along with Steven's not-so-faithful companion himself, Lion, Steven and Connie would actually decide to go see a movie together during this episode, which would of course get interrupted by our boy's magical destiny.
Do it again! Do it again!
Steven and Connie would grow even closer to each other during a ton of more season 1 episodes, like in An Indirect Kiss.
How do I look?
I have no idea.
An episode in which, as its name suggests, builds up to the moment when Steven and Connie would share an indirect kiss. A kiss that helped Steven to understand how his powers truly worked and healed Connie of her limited eyesight forever.
I have healing spit!
What am I going to tell my parents?
There was also the season 1 episode titled Fusion Cuisine, when the duo would be forced to have a relatively normal dinner with each other's parents.
Steven!
All of this character development shared between Steven and Connie would soon culminate in the beautiful formation of Stevoni during the season 1 episode titled Alone Together.
Are you okay? We can stop if you... No.
Stevoni was a major turning point in Steven and Connie's relationship. I mean, the fact that they were able to fuse when they did not only meant that the duo was completely in sync with each other, it also technically implied, at least on a subconscious level, that our boy felt a closer connection to Connie than he did with the other Crystal Gems.
No one's staring right now.
You are.
Naturally, the duo would decide to spend even more time with each other, leading up to the groundbreaking season 1 finale.
That could have gone a lot worse.
Could have gone a lot better too.
After Steven finds out just how serious and dangerous his magical destiny truly was during the season 2 episode titled Full Disclosure, he makes an attempt to block Connie out of his life for good without choosing to consult her on his decision first.
Oh, I see.
You come up here to brood too!
Brood?
When Connie is finally able to convince Steven that she was comfortable with having her life put in constant danger if it meant that she could continue to spend time with her new favorite person in Beat City, the duo would decide to take the next step in their relationship.
I want to be a part of your universe.
Which of course ends up being making sure that Connie would be able to fight alongside Steven as an equal against the many more level-headed threats that would arrive on the Earth in the very near future. The arc leading up to the incredibly iconic finale of Season 4 featured the introduction of Aquamarine and Topaz, two homo gems who were sent to Earth by the Diamonds themselves to capture a list of humans that our boy accidentally gave to Peridot all the way back in the middle of Season 1. The arrival of Aquamarine and Topaz during this arc would push the Jambirds to their absolute limits. So much so that Steven would completely and purposely break Connie's trust during the Season 4 episode titled I Am My Mom by making the decision to give himself up to Homeworld instead of fusing with her and fighting against the Homeworld invasion as a team like he always promised they would.
I'm my mom! I'm Rose Quartz!
And you're supposed to be dead.
I got better?
After a grueling trial on Homeworld for his mother's crimes in front of Blue and Yellow Diamond, followed by multiple near-death experiences in more ways than one, Steven would miraculously find his way back to Earth through Lassie's head during the Season 5 episode fittingly titled Lassie's Head, before he would be met with a cold shoulder from his best friend.
Are you happy to see me too?
Of course I'm happy to see you, Steven.
Thanks a lot, you idiot.
Look, I know a lot of people like to not only sit on the fence when it comes to this arc, but just straight up write it.
Battle Cowboy, woo!
By using the fact that Connie was still a kid to completely excuse her actions, but if I'm being honest, Connie was still the one that told Steven she'd be cool with all of the danger that would naturally come with choosing to stay in his life.
You're the one that's been through everything. The least I could do is just listen.
We're safe, everything's fine.
It's not, though.
You raised my hopes and dashed them quite expertly, sir. Bravo!
Plus, there was absolutely no way that forming Stephanie would have made a difference in that fight against Aquamarine and Topaz.
What a sick joke!
Stephanie would, however, get their time to shine during the following two episodes of Season 5 titled Last of the Stars and Jungle Moon respectively. The Jambirds would grow closer again leading up to the finale of the series and continuing further into Steven Universe's future, to the point that when our boy would come face to face with all of the trauma that he was forced to endure during his childhood, he'd see proposing to Connie as being one of his means of escape.
I'm happy to be with you too. It's just that...
An act which of course wouldn't go over that well in the moment. But it's clear that after it's all said and done, Steven and Connie's long-lasting relationship was always intended to be viewed as being an incredibly healthy one.
Priceless. There are some things money can't buy.
Check out this hilarious AI overview from when I was doing research for this video. In Steven Universe, Steven's romantic relationship is primarily with Connie Maizena. Can someone tell Connie Maheshwaran that Steven has actually been cheating on her the entire time? And while Pearl has a strong romantic interest in Steven, it is not reciprocated.
I like to watch you sleep sometimes. And by sometimes, I mean often.
Our future AI overlords, everyone.